republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I was gonna ask you about that.
Yeah, I saw that. What the heck? Yeah. We did.
I will sign the warrants when we get out of here.
Yeah, you're the last one. No problem.
Did anybody note any errors or omissions of the meeting minutes for February 18th, 2025?
I did not, and I'll make a motion, we approve them as read.
I will second that.
Then moved and seconded that we approve the meeting minutes for the selectmen meeting February 18th. All those in favor?
In favor.
In favor.
In favor. What's today?
The 5th.
Did you say 5th, I say?
5th.
All right.
Sorry. Trying to lose my voice, I guess.
Any adjustments to the agenda?
Yes. That's what I keep looking. I've added the paving bid, vacation rental ordinance, and Deb Webster use of Grange Hill for Friday, March 21st.
You do, okay. Paving bill, bids?
Yes. We had one bid from Pike Industries.
They are historically the low bidder, anyway. We almost always go with them. I can't go back in history and find where we went with anyone else, except when Nanzer actually owned the plant down here.
Yeah, before that, commercial pavement.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they're in business
Yeah.
anymore,
I think they've been bought.
probably. Mm.
So we opened the bid at 4 o'clock yesterday, like we said, and there was one.
So 2 of these we have to do?
2 of these we have to do. Branch and Sunday River Road have to be completed for the FEMA dollars. Of course, FEMA only pays for those damages that were damaged by the storm. So the 2 foot, the 4 foot, the 1 foot strips on the sides where the water scoured out at the shoulder's edge is all they will pay for. But anybody that builds a road knows you start putting seams in roads, the road doesn't last long. So we're gonna go over it with the final coat that we need to. Shim and grade as we need and put it back together whole. If we get another FEMA designated event, then we can't put in for a damaged road that hasn't been completely fixed. We'll only get a portion of the dollars to put the road back to its current standards that we see right now. So Sunday River and Branch, those have to be done. I strongly recommend Valley View to get us back on track with our road budget and our road timeline, our 5-year paving plan that we have. I know it's a big chunk.
One thing we could do, and I'm not saying we do or don't, but we could take and shorten up one of them that we were paving, so it wasn't quite as much money.
What do you mean shorten up?
Instead of paving whatever footage they've got here, we could, say, cut it in half.
The RFP is already only covering the sections that were damaged by the storm. We're not doing all of Sunday River Road.
Okay,
We're only doing sections that were storm damaged.
okay.
I broke it up by GPS coordinates.
I see that, but I was thinking that there was places that we could cut back on, but it probably isn't feasible.
Not if we're ever gonna put into FEMA for a damaged road.
Yeah,
Again, knock on all the wood I can.
But with my thoughts, I would say cut Valley View this year. I mean, we've already put out for the, fixing of the river, the engineering for that. We're asking for money for, the comp plan that we need to have done. We've got a lot of needs this year, and if we don't need to do Valley View, and we can put it off another year, price will probably go up, but.
Price will go up and it just pushes all the other roads that were on a
Right.
5-year schedule. We had such nice roads before that Mother Nature threw us that curveball. But yeah, it just throws off the schedule.
Well, the schedule's already thrown off.
Big
Let's
time.
just be
Yes, it
honest.
is. Yes, it is. I'm trying to get it back on track, but $500,000+ is a lot of money.
There's nothing to say if we did them all, we're not gonna get another freak storm.
And that's exactly right. We have to fix what was storm damaged. Those are the have-tos. Valley View, while it had some minor storm damage right at the base, it's a single subdivision road that we accepted years ago. And it's not trafficked like Sunday River Road and Branch Road is.
I don't know, I pick up kids there though, I drop them off, so maybe we better fix that, make it safe for them to walk home.
For the deer to cross. They love to cross right at the power lines. There's a lot of tracks in there.
There's kids on Valley View?
Yeah, there's 2 kids I drop off, I don't pick them up in the morning, but I drop them off in the afternoon. I just try to do as I'm asked.
That's right, good job. I just didn't, all the kids that I knew were on that were Valley View, or got up and moved.
Well, I don't know if we put it in the budget, and then when we get the final budget, but we have to either accept it or not. For us to sign a contract or
Correct.
whatever, and I don't know, we either accept the whole bid or,
Nope, we
No, we
can
can-
take them out. That's why we had them bid separately, so we could pick and choose.
alright, but, so if we went with 1 and 3, we would be taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
with it, as far as letting the bid people know whether they got the job or not, we could say 2 is still up in the air, or have not decided completely on 2, but definite on 1 and 3.
That would be up to, that's a legal question. I'm not sure how to answer that.
Well, we've done it separately here, so we should be able to do that.
I mean, they're aware that we might not.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. Rob, he's aware of that.
but we could give them a definite on 1 and 3,
Mm-hmm.
question mark on 2, depending on how the rest of the budget comes out. That would be my suggestion.
Budget will be decided in what, the next 6 weeks or so?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Before
Okay.
that, we hope.
okay.
I mean, the town's gonna look at that and they're gonna say, whoa.
Right.
Plus with everything else that we're trying to do.
Yeah, we spend upwards of $200,000 to $250,000 a year usually on paving, so. I think 198 was the one we did in 2023. We didn't do any last year because of the storm. So, everything just gets more expensive. And of course, this still has the clause, as liquid asphalt prices rise, if and when,
Right, so it
they're
will.
gonna, this could still change, this is still gonna change.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's not a definite.
No, it's not a hard number.
It's surely not gonna go down.
Something drastic would have to happen.
I'll make that a motion that we do definitely 1, 2,
No,
So
1 and 3, and possibly 2, depending on budget.
I'll second that, I guess. I mean, what's another 100,000?
Yeah, really, but, I know. So let's see where we're at the end of the,
After we get
Yeah.
everything else budgeted, because it's probably gonna take quite a jump this year. So it's been moved and seconded that we accept bids 1 and 3, and possibly 2, after the end, till we see what our final budget will be. All those in favor?
in favor.
In favor.
In favor. Any announcements?
No.
Public comment?
No.
Just wondering. Public hearings and possible action, we don't need a public hearing for the renewal of the liquor license, correct?
Correct.
So I guess we have nothing there. So I guess the next thing is the renewal liquor license for Southbridge. And as far as anybody knows, we've had no complaints. Might have had a couple last night, but nothing to do with the liquor license.
Nope.
I'll make a motion to accept the liquor
Good.
license for Southbridge Lodge.
I'll second that.
We moved and seconded that we approve the renewal liquor license for the Southbridge Lodge. All those in favor?
In favor.
In favor.
In favor.
Oh, did I not put it in?
So you get the right color pen.
Well, we got one in our.
I know. I think I did.
I should have had you do this one, this one.
It really doesn't matter if it's blue, right, because it's
No.
going to be in,
No, no.
I just have to, that's for us technically, I have to get online and say that you guys approved it. It's a bizarre situation nowadays.
Way of the new world.
It is. It's good when it works.
all right, we have an abatement for map W-1B403.
Yes, the assessor, went over this and they combined 2 condo units, took out the walls, there's only 1 kitchen now, so it's a combined unit.
We did verify it, he sent us pictures showing us.
Well, I'll make a motion that we accept the abatement for this map and lot.
I'll second that.
We moved and seconded that we approve the abatement for map lot W-1-B-403. All those in favor?
In favor.
In favor.
In favor.
Do you wanna do the other 2 adjustments before we get to budget?
We gotta do this. What adjustments,
Deb Webster and the vacation rental ordinance.
That's not on our packet, huh?
Yeah, we didn't do it
Yes.
either.
No, it's what I asked, did you ask for adjustments to the agenda?
That was,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Just verbal? Okay.
Yeah. And I handed out your packets.
Okay, thank you.
she wanted to use it for,
She just wants to use it again on Friday, March 21st, where she uses it Wednesdays anyway. She's said she's happy to pay additional fee, but it'll be from 11 to 2, pretty much what she does on Wednesdays, but she wants to do it on a Friday, it must be a special thing she's got going on. So she's asking for permission.
Make a motion, we approve it.
I'll second that.
and moved and seconded that we approve
The Eddie School?
the Eddie School to use the Grange Hall on the 21st.
Yes.
All those in favor?
In favor.
In favor.
In favor. Now we gotta get to that nasty thing.
Well,
Budget.
well, I don't know if Joel wants to go over vacation, talk
I can
about
do that now.
a little bit about the vacation rental
Yeah.
ordinance. That's not in the packet, it's separate. Something you don't want to.
You should have the ordinance as well as the affidavit. I wanted you to see both parts of it.
Have you kind of read it out or crossed out all the things that were talked about?
I actually cleaned it up a lot easier for you guys to be able to read this without all the red and the blue and the underlines and strikeouts, okay? And then I cleaned up some of it based on what we heard. By the way, we had a great meeting. I know a couple of the select board members weren't able to make it, but we had a great meeting. Very constructive, a lot of good input for and against. And then I got several conversations, phone calls from property managers telling me that we need this, this is good. So I was quite shocked by that. Several property owners as well as HOA representatives also were like, you know what, we do this anyway, this is not that big a deal. They're concerned we're gonna reach hard for fees. Comparing other towns and what they do for fees, the affidavit versus inspection towns. I mean, the guys that go out and do inspections in Rockland and Bar Harbor, they're charging like $275 for the first inspection. If they have to come back, they jump that up. They, it's taking time and energy away from their office, so they do jump up their fees. But then their renewals once a year, or every year, are like $150. So it's a scaled. Here's your initial cost, and then your renewals are X. If we're going to do the affidavit, several towns that have that charge like $150 to $200, and then they drop them down to $100, for the subsequent years. So, something to think about. We haven't discussed fees yet. That'll be something the select board sets as time moves forward. So I wanted you to see the affidavit. So in the actual ordinance, after our meeting with the public, the things that I still wanted to question and talk to the board about, on page 4 of 9, and I'll be honest, I think this is a reach for us. I don't know why this would be any of our business for a single-family dwelling. Right at the top of the page, it's in yellow. All vacation rentals within the town shall comply with the State of Maine State Revenue Services Sales and Use Tax Program, and I quote the title and section. I think that is a big reach for the town of Newry to ask for. It was in someone else's ordinance, so I threw everything but the kitchen sink in here. So I'm thinking that would get crossed out, and wanted your opinion on that.
Well, that seems like a problem for the state, right? Like that's up to the
Thank you.
state to
Yeah.
assess tax,
Yeah.
not
I don't
us
ask for
to-
proof of any of your homeowners' insurances or
Right.
taxes, so, I thought that was kind of a reach.
My opinion is that is an issue for the state, not for
Okay,
personally.
I agree.
okay, there's two.
Oh, man. Well, I guess we gotta be fair across the board.
I think if I owned a home in Newry and it was my single-family residence that I was renting out for 4 weeks out of the entire year, why does the town of Newry need to know whether I'm paying state of Maine sales taxes? If the state wants to chase after taxes, let them. That's not our hunt,
We don't-
in my opinion.
Right, we're not getting,
We don't get any benefit at all from their
So I
use
think
tax, so.
that's why I think.
Not directly, it's not like a check gets mailed to us.
Right.
It's kinda like marijuana laws. That's a different subject. All right, page 5 of 9. Again, this was something that was, brought up by several different property owners as well as property managers. The contact person must live within 25 miles of the vacation rental. Some of these folks manage their own rentals, and the homeowners are very responsive, and their number is out there for the tenants to call if there's a question. If the tenants are having a problem, I'm sure they'd provide the fire department or me a phone number to get a hold of the owner. Maybe a compromise here, rather than a person living within 25 miles of the vacation rental, is maybe just a second phone number. It could be their house cleaner. It could be their plow guy.
Key holder or something with-
I can't hear you.
Key holder or something like that.
Nope, that's not even I don't even want to use that term because it's not something that's enforceable. Maybe just a second phone number, you know, their housekeeper who knows the code to get in through the door, the lockbox code, who, you know, if the owner did feel like they needed to lay eyes on whatever the issue may be, they could say, yeah, hang on, I've got Susie running over, she'll be there in 10 minutes. Great, thank you. But maybe that's a compromise, rather than actually have the person live within 25 miles, maybe we just have a second phone number.
Maybe we put a contact person must live within 25 miles. So it's not like you're the contact person, I could
Yeah,
also be a contact
It
person.
could be the next door neighbor, or it could be whoever.
Right.
yeah, it could be. Do
It
you,
doesn't have to be like,
A, so use A instead of the?
right. That way you could have multiple contact people. Because if somebody does live far away, but they have
Yeah.
someone close enough, I don't know if 25 miles.
Well, some of those people live in North Carolina or wherever they live, they said they wanted to be called
Right.
because they wanna be that person.
Yeah,
Right, and if there is some issue, chances are if they're living that far away, they have to have a contact person who
right, I'm sure
Cleans it or
they don't drive up
takes
here
the
every,
trash or
right, every
whatever.
weekend to do trash and
Right.
turn the sheets over,
Right.
yeah, no. So, okay, alright, yeah, I can change that. Have you guys had a chance to,
My other question is,
Yeah.
instead of miles, should it be like minutes?
Time.
Because
Yeah.
miles here, like, once you get to Rumford,
mm,
right, it's not outrageous for the cleaner to be in Rumford. Can she make it here in 25 minutes?
Right.
Sure, but she's 28 miles away,
If it's.
you know what I mean?
oh, yeah, I see what
if
you're
it's-
saying,
If it's
yeah.
3 o'clock in the morning, they gotta get up, get dressed, go get the car warmed up and go, you know, it's a time thing, you know. While everybody else is standing around waiting for them to get there.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking of the cleaners, cause I know some from Oxford Hills that travel up here for
Right,
this.
so, you
Yeah.
know, maybe it should be within 30 minutes,
Alright,
live within 30 minutes.
30 minutes seems a lot. 30 minutes seems better than 25 miles, I like that better. I mean, even some of our property managers, when we get calls, alarm calls for some of the condos, you know, they're way out in Albany, some of these folks. I mean, it still takes them to warm up the truck this time of year and get there. You know, that could take
Well,
them
let's
at
be
least 20 minutes.
I'm probably a contact person for the branch road, and it takes me more than,
Yeah,
what is it, 6 miles up the road?
right. It's gonna
It'll
take you
me
20
15
minutes.
minutes to get there because the road is so terrible.
Agreed.
Right.
Okay. I have kept in the language on page 6 of 9, where it says bunk room or boarding house. I'm thinking of deleting boarding house. It's a 40 gallons per day versus 20 for a bunk room. We have had 2 people already come in and explain to me their systems are expanded and/or they're going to expand their leach fields. This is what they do. They make money off some of these homes. For them, it was, for one guy, it was kind of like, yeah, no big deal. You have copies of my septic systems? I'll get somebody on that. It's like, sure, here you go. And the ordinance hasn't even passed yet. He thinks it's a good idea. So that was a positive. I
Well,
like
mean,
that.
it is in their best interest. Or
It is their
they're
best
gonna see
interest,
a lot of
right.
problems
Yep.
later.
So if you're okay with that, I would take out the boarding house and just use the bunk room standard. The bunkhouse, standard. Because we are talking about bunk rooms. This is where they put, 15 teenagers in one room. Because the kids like to be all bunked together. I mean, I do get that. One of the owners said that.
Yeah.
I have guest rooms that go empty because all the kids want to stay together in the bunk room. It's more fun. And that's what we're here for. That's why they're here. They're here to have a good time. page 7 of 9, I went, back and edited the, fireplaces, J, I added the smokeless stoves, and the propane burning outdoor stoves are allowed with proper setbacks from combustible materials. That's defined at the fire marshal's office also, so I didn't go into what that setback should be, because some stoves have stricter or less strict standards. I didn't want to put in a 3-foot minimum, I didn't want to do any of that. I left it up to proper setbacks. It's like wood stoves, we don't inspect those in this town. Or chimneys.
Oh, she's in a meeting.
Yeah.
Probably can
What
do
about
it.
the wood chip? You guys wanna call about the wood chip today?
So, that's what I've done.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's it.
So what is the next step for this? Does it have
The
to
next step
go
is
to the
whether or
lawyer?
not you guys like it, and if you do, well, not even if you like it, do you want to schedule a public hearing?
What is, why is it highlighted about the sprinkler system?
I'm sorry, what page are you on?
I'm on the,
They're numbered at the bottom.
registration.
Oh, you're on the
I'm on the
affidavit?
other one, yeah, that page, sorry. On the back page. Is that new or is that different?
Nope, I'm looking. It's actually a question I had for the state fire marshal's office. I got that late yesterday afternoon. I got the answer. There is no requirement for single-family homes to inspect. I mean, should they keep it in proper working order? Of course, I'm sure their insurance company would like to make sure that that is, huh? But there's no requirement, there's no law requiring that single-family dwellings, which is 13D, it's the type of system that goes into a home. There's no law requiring they inspect it. So that'll be removed.
That's coming out.
Yep. So the way this affidavit's gonna work, just so I can explain that, the very front page will be scanned, linked into an Excel spreadsheet. So I can share that spreadsheet on our devices at a fire department. They can open it, hit that link, and go, okay, the fee has been paid, this is the CEO, and here's all the owner's contact information. So the phone number, how many guests are supposed to be there, the number of bedrooms, all of that information is right there immediate. That's how I'm gonna work my spreadsheet for public safety. It'll be sorted by address number. So if it's Loretta's house at 113 and you're 119, when I sort that by address number, it might not be the correct street name. But if you're 113 Appalachia and you're 113 Bear River, Appalachia will come first, Bear, so that'll get sorted. So it's gonna make it easy for the fire department to find. What's the address of the event we're at? We don't even have to have, all the right street names. We just need to know the number first and foremost. 58, all right, great, 58 pops up. Boom. That makes it easy for me. I've already done 3 or 4 tests with this. It works well, that link. And then it's just 1-page document. Well, it's probably gonna be multiple pages once we get everyone registered, but, it's one spreadsheet. So that front page will go there. The rest of this will go electronically in a file. I can't keep all this paper yearly. I can't keep the covenants and bylaws of every HOA. So in the ordinance, that's been edited too. I need a letter from the HOA president saying that they're aware that these units are rented. Cover, Fall Line, North Peak, whatever the Brookside, whatever it is, just to cover that they know these units are being rented. And if there's a problem, I write the owner a letter, just like we explained at the meeting, requesting that they meet me on site so we can have some education about, whether it's how not to block an egress window or where to properly hang a fire extinguisher in the kitchen, things like that.
So we have to decide if we want to do a public hearing.
Yes.
Well, I don't know if you wanna go that route yet, or you wanna talk fees before you decide if you wanna have a public hearing.
Fees are a separate issue.
Right,
Yeah, but before people.
But if we go to public hearing, they're gonna ask.
so,
So what I have discovered, like I said, the affidavit towns where no one's going into, like Casco, Freiburg, they're a one office, just a one person office, just like we are here. They do the affidavit, and if there's a problem, then they go and inspect. And then the fines and all of that type of stuff kick in. For just the registration fee, just to send this to me, or come in here and have it notarized by the staff, or email me a notarized copy from their town, hometown, I'm thinking $150. That, my hourly rate with all my benefits, all, you know, dental, vision, everything, is about $75 an hour. So, between me, maybe one of the office staff, I think $150 covers the fees that we incur as a town. State law doesn't allow us to be greedy, we can't go out and charge $1,000 just because we feel like it. They have to be, you know, somewhat compensation for what we are actually spending.
I'm just thinking if you guys wanna review it, if you're going to review it, we can take it up at the next meeting and then do the public hearing stuff, schedule the public hearings. Because we've got other things that we'd have to take to for public hearings.
You know, if this ordinance passes, that affects our UDRO and it affects our land use building ordinance. Those also will all get edits and definitions and things, so. And then we have the driveway entrance ordinance.
Right.
I suggest we table it, think about it, and table it at least till the next meeting, for the fees.
Did you want
At
to-
that time, we'll decide whether we want to send it to a public hearing or what we're gonna do with it.
Yeah.
So give us a chance to look it over and
Yep, okay. Sounds good, thank you.
now we wanna go into budget. Not really, but I guess we have to.
Right. So, on page 2, I had made some changes because Amy brought it up, which was smart, because I missed it. On the assessor, he has a 2-year contract, of course it increased, and I didn't want to give him the increase, so it's gone up to $14,500 from $13,750. So I corrected that. Cemeteries I changed to $7,500 because we talked about the loan and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because I had $6,500, so I increased it to $7,500 with everything.
What page is that on?
Page 2.
Cemeteries?
Yeah.
Oh, I see, miscellaneous, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't know why that miscellaneous is there, but. That's part of the
Trio.
budgeting thing, yeah. And page 3, third parties, we got the H friendly, so they were asking for 500. We got flags for soldiers' graves, thank you, Scott. He gave us 2 to pick from, the 300 or the 500, so I did put in the 500. Because I can't imagine the prices of flags are gonna go down any more than they,
$30 helps.
anything else, so, and I figured it's a good cause, so. I put
And
in-
no town graduates?
We have no town graduates, whose kids came through with their $2,000 request, but we have no graduates this year at Telstar or Gold Academy. Which I was surprised. But I can't make them appear. I thought there'd be one somewhere. And we did boards and committees last time, so I stopped at highways. So highways, the winter roads is $155, $250 per contract. Salt and sand, I upped to 30,000 from 29. We're running pretty close this year. But. And then street signs, I left at 1,000, cause I think we gotta replace some signs this year, cause
Why is, street signs FY '24 actual $15,000? What did we buy?
the new signs.
The town
Town
sign.
signs.
Oh, the big ones. So-
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking, never mind, safety signs, yeah.
stop thinking.
I really do have to stop that.
Yeah. Summer roads, we left at 125,000. And miscellaneous road work, I put down to 5,000 from 9. Cause lately Alan's mowing and stuff, we took out of summer roads because, and we didn't have any big miscellaneous work at this point.
So all the paving doesn't go into summer roads, that's a separate thing.
Yeah,
Well, she didn't have the figures in there.
yeah. So we gotta add paving. And I believe it was under capital improvements the year before, last year when we didn't have any.
I think you're right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's see, we did the health insurance. That was 110. Risk pool, I kept it, up to 16.5, unemployment 200, workers' comp 8,000. Building maintenance here was 30,000. Electricity was 3,500, left it the same. Did up the heat a little bit to 6. Since we had the cold snaps this year and it was kind of pricey. We did sign up for the, solar stuff, has not come through yet. But the bill came a little weird this month, so we're gonna call and see where we sit with that. Fire department, I talked with Alan, so we're gonna have a fire department budget. Gas and oil left the same, $4,000. Did up the equipment to 20,000. Training left at 5,000. Operations and maintenance left at 36,000. Miscellaneous, 7,000. I didn't do the wages yet, because we'll do those later. Electricity, we upped a little bit to 3,500. Heat, we upped to 7,000 from 6. Left the phones the same. And they had a county training last year. I took that out because they're not sure why they had that. So that is now gone. If you're gonna include it in their other training. Sanitation, I left the same, Pine Tree Waste, $4,000, and, Town of Bethel, I put 255,000, I left it the same. If the scales go through, I assume that amount there will go down.
Well,
We hope.
you gotta pay for the scales too, but.
Right, that's different, that was my budget. Streetlights, I left the town, the same, $1,000. ACO, I put in 3,000, and we got lucky, we've only had to pay him the basic wage, he hasn't had any calls. The one call that he did have, he took him to Rumford, and the person hadn't got it, so that person had to pay, we did not. Bethel Rec Department is 4,400, we had 19 Newry kids use Bethel Rec, so I thought that was good.
Mhm.
Sunday River Schoolhouse, I left at 4,000, we didn't talk about painting it this year. We do flowers and the mowing and stuff, so. Fire Department, Forest Fire Reserve is $5,000 like we asked for every year. I think we're up to not quite 60,000 in that. Tax maps, I left at 6,000. Comprehensive plan, I put in 75,000. I don't know if I'm guessing high, if we should lower that to 50. I haven't talked to AvCog again about what their fees would be. The Sunday River hazard mitigation for the river. under capital improvements, I put 70,000, but those bids are supposed to come in,
Next, the 18th. 18th.
so we can always change those if we need to. And the transfer station scales, I put in 30,000 because they figured it was 90, we thought it would, I'm guessing, split it 3 ways, so I put in 30,000 for that. And then town buildings capital, and fire department capital. Fire department capital, they'd like to put in 100,000. And town buildings, I put 75,000 like we did last year.
And that's for like maintenance stuff.
Uh, If we have to do like a new roof or a new furnace or whatever. So on this building, I talked to Mike Fields about the heating system, and he'd like to propose additional radiators in here. He says it's something we'd have to do anyway, even if we had to replace the boiler, but he thinks this boiler will do better if we have more radiation, so he says it's gonna be about 7,500. That's including all the material, labor, and tax. This is due to the lack of the radiation and BTUs of the current boiler, the town office building does not heat effectively during design days. Included in this proposal is an addition of more baseboard heat in conjunction with the firing the boiler and testing the capacity of its effectiveness during these periods. Our hope is the additional radiation will be satisfactory and then we'll have to replace the boiler. He thinks it will work.
He did turn up the mixing valve
Yeah,
temperature, and it made a difference during that cold snap.
yeah.
Where we typically hover between 65 and 68. It's all it'll get in this building when it's 0. He turned up the water temperature, which was great, because now we actually hit like 71 when it was 0 out.
Yeah.
So it was good.
It did make a difference.
It was better.
Yeah.
Yep.
Of course, we haven't got the county tax yet.
Well, let's hope they send us the right numbers.
So they have a meeting, what, today or tomorrow or something, to go over that person, so. So any questions on the budget at this point? Which I'll bring back next week too, just go over stuff. On the budget, Western Hills Access Television always wants our franchise fees, and we just got the check. It's $14,857.74, which is down from last year's of $16,000. But that goes to town vote before they get the check.
It would just be brought up at town meeting in the warrant.
Yes,
Whether
we have a
they-
warrant up for it.
So wages, that's not brought up into the administration
Not yet,
costs? You haven't got that far?
next on the agenda.
Next time.
So then we'll be back to the budget again next week anyway, so, yeah.
So some of these numbers are gonna change.
Yep.
Well, people hope.
It's a story,
It's a
work in
working
progress.
document.
Yeah, it is, it is. Because in case I forget something, I'm not saying I don't forget things, and I try to stay on top of it. But,
Alright, so is that where we wanna go next, is wages?
I guess, yep, unless you wanna do No, I guess that's it, yeah. Budget,
Do you have a spreadsheet for that?
yes.
Okay. Are you gonna share it?
When we get there,
Oh, okay.
So everybody else set with the budget so far, so we wanna go on to wages?
Sure.
so first I'll give you the wages for the, this is what we have for selectmen, I'm gonna start at the bottom, work our way up. Fire department, selectmen, and all of you guys.
Can I make copies?
For you, but maybe not. Make a copy of this one, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So the selectmen, you guys get 5,500 a year. The fire chief gets 5,500, assistant chief gets 3, captain gets 3, safety officer gets 1,200, training officer, you guys changed to 1,000 last year, secretary gets 2,000. Alan requested an increase for the meetings and the per call. Last year it was $17 per hour and $20 per hour, and he'd like to increase it to 18 and 21. Planning board secretary gets $30 an hour. Planning board members get $1,600 for the year. School board member gets $1,600. Health officer gets, $100. She'd like 1,000, but she gets 100. Appeals board gets $750 a year if needed. Ballot clerks, where the minimum wage, thank you, big word to come up with, increased to $14.65 from $14.15.
Okay, what one I'm sorry, what do you want now?
I'm on the same one,
The selectmen still? Okay.
that whole page.
It doesn't have any years across the top, so I'm a bit confused.
The green is the new stuff.
Okay.
Sorry, it's not perfect. So that's what Alan's requested, the 18 and the 21, that's the only change on those. Unless you guys want to increase or what you want to do.
I say we go with the fire chief's suggestion.
I would say the same thing.
I guess it kind of makes sense. I mean, we can leave it like this and
Yep.
we gotta go back through everything, so we have to, if we feel we have to make cuts, then we can make cuts, but.
Right there. So then we go on to, hang on a second, it's not the one I wanted. Good enough. It's not my new one. See, I had them all along. Well, I can tell you what the girls had last year, but I'll wait, I'll make a new one. I got printed off my computer. Okay. I did not do that.
All right, well, we're in time on that.
Just remember you're being
I didn't want to call him. So if I'm yelling, it's because he's deaf.
hour per call, is that right?
Correct.
I might get
And
up
same
there
here.
and
Yes.
say,
Thank you.
"Tomorrow,"
Yep.
and then on my way back to, at night, in the morning, I have to punch in.
Hello, what are you doing?
And I have to do the same.
Can you do me a huge
on my
favor?
way, Pick them up.
Can you run to Retta's, there's a guy coming to buy the door that's on the side of her house, and I'm still at the selectmen's meeting.
Sign in first thing, I just pick them up. Cause I ain't gonna stop every house.
Hello,
You can, you can.
can you run to Retta's house, there's a guy coming to buy a door? And I'm at a selectmen's meeting. He's supposed to be there at 10. Thank you. It's on the side of her house, like where you would drive up back. Thank you. Bye.
It takes a village.
It does, it does. Back up.
Yeah. Once the pain's in there.
Thanks,
It's
Megan.
like that when I got it, might not know.
You know how that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Oh, I dropped my golf shoe.
Pass them down to you, or you're gonna have to,
Where is she?
maybe you're gonna share.
I'm gonna share.
Share with Gary, yes. Well, I printed 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. I did. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mine don't have to be color. Sorry, I had too many Excel sheets going. I apologize. So, my thoughts on the deputy clerks were, we used to be one of the, I don't wanna say higher, but more, closer on the playing field. So I'd like to put them up to either $23 or $24 per hour because they are trained. I checked with a couple other towns, their deputy clerks in Carabasset Valley makes $25.64 an hour. In Bethel, the non-experienced deputy clerk makes $22 an hour. Dixfield, the non-experienced deputy clerk makes 21, and their experienced one makes 24. And most of them have the same benefits that we do. So I'd like to bring our deputy clerks up. They're trained, they're dependable, reliable. Things go smoothly here. If we have an issue, we discuss it. And I feel like we have good help.
I would have to agree with you there.
I don't think increasing their wage is a big deal. I think changing them to $23 is much more competitive with what people are getting paid in the real world. I will say the people that I talk to out in public don't have anything bad to say about our town office as opposed to some of the other town offices
never
where they
heard
get no
anything.
help.
Bad about the current people that are here.
Well, then I'm not doing my job right. You should at
We're
least
not
hear
talking about
something.
you, we're
Yeah,
talking
Oh,
about
yeah,
the
that's
town.
good. Once in a while, you should hear something bad about your code officer. That means I'm doing my job right.
Yeah, really.
I'm on the other side of the building.
Okay.
That's not a please all job.
No, it's not.
No, didn't do that yesterday. That's another story. Another day.
I guess that,
Well, if most of those towns are around here, so you're talking, if we give them 24, we would be
In line.
with everybody else. I mean, if you really wanna get
yeah, I know.
screw it, you can go 23, 50, 23, whatever.
Oh, yeah,
I don't, like I said, I mean, they do their job and then there's no complaints with them.
They come in on Fridays, so does Retta, when somebody's, calls and says, hey, I can't get there. Any one of us gets called on a vacation day, they answer their phone. So, it's fantastic, the fact that we all work together, that, if they're needed, they pick up their phone.
I think you cover well for each other.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
somebody's-
help each other when needed. Sick kids or prescriptions.
I guess I'd make a motion up there,
Yeah,
paying it
I would-
24.
I would too.
I'll second it then.
So it's been moved and seconded that we bump up the deputy clerks to $24 an hour. All those in favor?
In favor?
In
In
favor.
favor.
Thank you. Now we have to,
I have one question before.
Okay.
Under Amy's where it says 40-hour OT, she has to hit 40 hours before she gets overtime, is that what that means?
Yes.
yes,
Okay, I just was confused by that.
yeah,
This is for next year's budget, right?
correct.
Yeah,
This wouldn't start till July 1st.
it passed.
Normally wages always pass, but
I know,
we
but
cut
I'm
it
not,
from something
I'm not
else.
questioning it. I just trying to
Yeah.
make- Trying to make a joke.
But I mean, it is public knowledge, if people wanna know what we make, we tell them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
No.
a secret.
So we really can't do yours until we do the,
I'm in the executive session.
right.
I would do these before
Yeah, yeah, but we gotta do Joelle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Joelle, poor Joelle, no.
Let's not get carried away.
Oh.
I was personally thinking the 3.6%, I wouldn't be sad about the 4% for Joelle. The 3.6 is what minimum wage went up this year. She has done a lot with the FEMA, with the roads, as being a deputy road commissioner, she's been busting, on top of her regular job. And the EMA stuff.
I keep a lot of balls in the air. I'm gonna advocate for myself. I'm gonna say I want 4%, obviously.
Right.
It's 99% of my job is education, and I probably have 1% where I go home at night and just wanna kill people. But that's rare. I mean, if you do your job right in this position, I'm not carrying a badge, I don't carry a gun. So that enforcement title, I said it at last week's meeting, I'm gonna say it again. I don't enjoy that title. I would much rather educate people up front and have them comply with our ordinances and state laws as needed for my box that I work in. But it's just, and I'm another one. If Retta calls me when I'm in Atlanta over Christmas break and I'm on vacation, I answer the phone. My contractors call me and say, hey Joelle, we got a septic system ready. Hey guys, I'm in Atlanta, but send me photos, I'm happy to take a look, let's do a little video on Snapchat, here's my handle. We all work together. It's hard, it was hard to coordinate having an alternate with our neighbor. They went through code officers quick there for a while, so we don't have an alternate code officer. So that's why I do things by phone, by video, even when I'm on vacation, because my contractors work really well with me.
Yeah.
And I certainly don't wanna have an excavator sitting still that charges $175 an hour. My contractor brain kicks in, it's like, no, that machine's gonna be moving. So I would like 4%, I think I've earned it. And I continue to do a good job and advocate for the town of Newry, as obvious with the vacation rental registration ordinance. I always wanna see us improve and do things as safely and accurately as possible in my offices, plural.
Yeah.
I'll be coming back with another one of those when we get to my report later.
There ain't a big difference between the 3.6 and the 4. I guess I'd agree with going with the 4% myself.
If you go with 4, we better not get any complaints about this side of the building.
No, you do want some complaints from my side of the building, or at least about my side of the building. 1 or 2 a year, that's all.
Well, I guess I'll make the motion then to go with the 4%.
I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded to go with the 4% for the CEO, Joel. All those in favor?
In favor?
In favor.
In favor.
Thank you.
Do we wanna do this other stuff before we go into executive session, so people can just go about their thing, or?
I would say yes, do it that way. I was gonna suggest it if you didn't.
We guess, so we'll have the code enforcement, road commissioner report, road posting. We'll go there first,
Sure.
and then we'll go back.
I even have examples of things I need to show you. Ready?
Ready as ever, I guess.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with road commissioner stuff first. This is, everyone's familiar with where the Phoenix restaurant was?
Yep.
Okay, well, that's gone. This is the proposed new layout for the parking, the dark gray areas on these prints. This pink highlighted area here is the fire chief's recommendation to get rid of that entrance, and he wants some type of barricades here, even if it's just big rocks to stop Sunday River skiers from parking on both sides of Skiway Road. There's a lot of easements associated with this piece of property allowing parking on either side of this public way. So that's one, and since you are my road commissioners, I wanted to bring that to you. I also recommend we get rid of the first building, which would be the southerly building on the plan.
This one?
Yep, get rid of this parking, get rid of this,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
driveway entrance.
You could almost carry this one.
Well, no, it would be better if everything came in off of here, or everything came in here and went this way,
Okay.
and just
Yeah,
eliminate.
yeah.
There's a lot of traffic. Anybody who has entered or exited Sunday River, when they're ramping up in the morning or everybody's the exodus in the afternoon, to have all these different separate driveways, we just see that as a safety hazard. We already have people exiting out parking lot number 3 is supposed to be one-way entrance only. I saw 2 people do it last night, this one here. So, as the official road commissioners, I just wanted to bring this to your attention and get your input on some of this. Before I stood up in a meeting tonight at the planning board and said, this is what your deputy thinks.
So you wanna get rid of this entrance,
That entrance only, yeah.
not this one?
No, that one would stay because this is a business, and they could come in and excavate and make the driveways connect here, interior of the
So
property.
connect it here and
Yeah.
then in the back.
So all traffic for these these three lower parking lots would enter here and come down this direction and get rid of this entrance. That's gonna be my recommendation, but I didn't wanna make that recommendation without the three of you.
Sounds like you got it all figured out.
Oh, well, don't. It's only my recommendation. I can pretend to be an engineer, but I can only play one on TV.
I mean, I think it's a good idea, cause it is kind of a
Yeah.
disaster zone up there.
I mean, we already have a bunch of people using Timberline, coming in and out there.
Right.
Because a lot of these, so all the Timberline and Greenbrier homes are allowed to, they walk through. So, you know, if you've got friends that have a house on Timberline, why wouldn't you park at their house and then walk through the parking lot and enter Southbridge? So we have extra cars, it's not just a residential use going on in that subdivision. So I just wanna, there's a lot of traffic in
The
this
Y
area.
is right here.
The Y is right there, yeah.
So that makes.
The Y.
It's right here.
No, that's Timberline.
Oh,
The Y going into,
okay.
yeah, right there. Yeah.
You didn't know that parking lot?
Nope, no, not at this entrance, huh? The exit's on the other side, up by Southbridge Lodge,
Guess that's something.
up by Merrill Brook condos.
From when I was there.
Yeah, I didn't know that either, but. Yeah. So something to think about.
I mean, I'm fine with suggesting
Okay.
have that entrance. 'cause
It is a suggestion.
It is
Yeah,
a scene over there.
there is no set standard for entrance, distances between the approved and, existing Timberline and this, there is no defined set distance
Where
there.
are these buildings gonna be?
Condos, 4-unit, 3-unit,
Okay.
5 bedrooms each.
I mean, in all honesty, I would rather have that one shut down, but obviously with the business you
Yeah, it's
can't.
hard.
Because it's
Yeah.
just very close to the Y. and
It's super close. Yep. So I just wanted to bring that's my road commissioner report for you guys. I don't have anything yet from our local DOT office as to when they're going to get their approval from Augusta to post roads here in western Maine. And their camp foreman is, you know, he'll text me immediately when they do get that word.
That's what I was gonna suggest in the meeting here, that we,
What I'd like today from you guys is approval to just follow DOT schedule.
that was what I wanted to do.
Okay.
You need a motion on
Yes,
that?
yes, please.
I'll make a motion that posting the roads is within 24 hours of when the state posts the state roads.
I'll second that.
We moved the second that we post the roads within 24 hours of the state posting. All those in favor?
In favor.
In favor.
If they happen to post it on a Friday, you could do it on a Monday.
Thank you. Or I can rack up some overtime and come in on Saturday.
Yeah.
Well, if they post, state posted, then they can't
Well, they really take.
legally can't come up here anyway.
Well, not on this side, but we have quite a few public roads on the other side that I would need to post.
But some of that is state road, so if they post that,
They never post Sunday River,
No.
sadly.
They didn't wanna deal with the aggravation of it.
Right.
You gotta get Cisco trucks up to the resort, I mean,
Yeah.
fuel, all, yeah, so. Code enforcement stuff, real quick, the Great Brook trash complaint we had, way up on Glades View, that court date, they handle all this by Zoom now. We got our court date, if you will, for March 21st. I'm not needed, I've already given my affidavit and my statement. This is just handled by the town attorney and that gentleman's attorney. So, other than that,
Was
what's
it
good?
ever been picked up? No.
No, and I will go and verify that just before the court date. I'll do that Thursday, just to verify. Otherwise, it's been busy in my office because of the subdivisions that have been coming through. We have 2 going through planning board starting tonight. Yeah. Working, making sure that as we draft this vacation rental ordinance, that the definitions in it match the UDRO, and if not, get them all to jive, so which, it'll look like we're voting on a lot of ordinances at town meeting, but it's because we have to make the definitions all match. So, that's about it. That was probably me, Lori.
No.
Nope, somebody
It's
else.
my dad.
Oh,
So, That's it for code and roads. Unless you guys have questions.
You missed out.
Now, Paris, Sabatis, bunch of towns already in southern Maine have already posted, so I'd be surprised if we don't see something this week or early next.
Okay.
Yeah, we're actually late. Last year we did it in February.
Really?
Yeah, last week of February.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what's going on.
One of the two subdivisions, I think I got it.
Yeah, Monkey Brook Road subdivision and Timberline TH.
You know, some
We
days
usually
I'll
have to have some kind of a variance for Mike Fields Lone Pine Road.
He emails that to me every year.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know we've had, it's come up before, I can't remember if we voted on it or if we talked about it, but I know we,
I just signed it.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's only one truck anyway, I think.
Right.
Did you get it out? I kept shutting it, snow that way.
It was not frozen.
Oh. Well, the sun hits here first thing in the morning too. Not that we had it today, but
Okay.
it's a good sign.
I'm all done.
Okay, deputy clerk.
So I did put in my Bethel Citizen column that tax payments are due by the end of the month, so don't forget. And that nomination papers became available on Monday the 3rd for the 3-year selectman seat. Will be available.
Instead of Belleville Citizens going every other week, huh?
Wow, news travels fast.
Oh, on Facebook yesterday.
And it's on Channel 6.
It's on the news, yeah.
Wow, I just found out yesterday.
I didn't find that at all, so let me tell you how I feel about that later.
I was gonna tell you.
So how does that affect our ads?
You know, they're moving toward getting more digital, you know, so, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a really good question, because you have to have them in within, and do they have to be, that's okay.
You're getting dirt all over it.
Oh, I am?
Yeah, from your boots.
Yours have to be print, or is that by law?
Well, we always try to have it print, but I don't even know how many people even see them, you know what I'm saying?
Well, it says we have to put it in a newspaper.
Paper, yeah.
And we have, our legal notices have to go out 2 weeks in advance.
Yes, you're right.
So now our local newspaper,
Yes.
Right, is not 2 weeks.
right?
Right.
mhm.
Or it is 2 weeks, but that,
Yeah,
I wonder if you could ask if
yeah.
digital,
Well, we'd have to check our,
I mean,
we'd have to
plenty,
change our stuff.
plenty of newspapers are all digital, so
Yeah.
I would guess that it's
Yeah.
okay.
We're gonna have to
Yeah,
change
we're
our-
gonna check with the State Department, right?
Yeah.
Shannon Bellows people.
They're gonna have to redo that because, I mean,
It's
not
not,
to be the bearer of bad news, but newspapers are gonna be,
Right.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, online, I don't think that will happen, but, and I'll be so my job will change in the sense that I'll be posting things more regularly,
Right,
so.
So the newspaper will get updated, just not going to be published except every 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and I'm gonna try to be really vigilant about, you know, if it's a meeting like this.
right.
We need to get that posted, you know,
Right.
it's gotta go online so people can find it.
Okay.
We were talking about that this morning,
I don't know about you,
so. Yeah,
write longer,
yeah.
I'm not kidding, cause they'll give us more pages.
Do you have anything else?
I have nothing.
Have
She already
nothing.
said what she wanted to say.
Well, let's get out of here then.
You're probably
You're
waiting.
gonna go back.
They have to leave, is that right? Yeah.
Since he has contract.
Yeah.
So you have to make a motion then.
Yes, I wrote it down here, yeah.
Leave that.
My feet's dirty.
I mean, I say how, so we have to go suspend,
Yes, yeah.
we have to suspend, make a motion that we suspend our regular select board meeting, and I then make a motion to go into executive session pursuant to MRSA Title I, 405, 6A dash, to discuss contract for town administrator.
At 10:14 a.m.
I'll second that.
I'll make sure I take my report.
Yes, please. Joanne's gonna shut off the.
Well, I heard a motion, but I haven't heard everything.
I
Moved and
second.
seconded that we enter into executive session. All those in favor?
In favor?
In favor.
In favor.
Pause. Right, it's coming on, and I'm going back to the record. There you go. You're on.
Okay.
All right. So I make a motion that we extend or agree to the administrator employees agreement in the amount of, was it 93?
That's what you'd like,
That's what you was talking.
that's what he said.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the administrator employees agreement with an agreement of a gross salary of $93,000 per year commencing on July 9th, 2025 through July 8th, 2028. All those in favor?
In favor?
In favor.
I will abstain from voting.
That's all right. Did you initial that?
Me?
Yeah. Just so it's legit. Take that envelope with you. I opened that book and I thought, oh my God, yeah, I didn't take that envelope.
Well, I looked for that all day Sunday
Is
and
that one or not?
I bet it's in that book that I
I'll
read.
just put it.
Cause I remember sticking it in there.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna go in and look Sunday when we had a meeting.
Yeah,
I said, nah,
I could've, but
Well, I'll make a motion, we adjourn at 10:35.
I'll second that.
been moved and seconded that we adjourn at 10:35. All those in favor?
In favor?
In favor.
In favor.
Geez, this is a long meeting.
I know, huh? Thank you. You're going home now. Just kidding. I just feel like I
All I'm gonna
should
do is go home and,
Turn around.
I don't even know if I'll go home. 'Cause I gotta,
turn around and come back, go back.
all I'll end up doing is